Do any of you have a friend where you just look at them and you think, wow, they are so beautiful, they're so confident, and everyone seems to be attracted to them? Does anyone know someone like that? A friend or a person you know? And now maybe you wonder, why are they so much more attractive to other people than I am? And I think that though every single one of us has beauty, there are things in our life that can actually block that beauty from coming out. It's in there, the same amount in all of us. But there's things in our life that can block it from coming out. And you can imagine it kind of like a light. Okay? So this is a lamp, and it has a light inside of it, and it has a lampshade on it. But let's say I took my sweater here and put it over the light. Well, it would be dimmer, right? The beauty's still in there, like the light, but something is keeping it from coming out as brightly. And I wonder what that is. Because if we can figure out what it is that's blocking our beauty from coming out, maybe we can shine that light a little brighter. Maybe we can be the person that people are drawn to. Not because we want to be popular, but because we have something inside of us that the world needs. We've got a light inside of us that people around us really need. So what are some things that can block this beauty from shining out? And there's three I want to tell you about. We're not going to go into a lot of detail, but the three that I believe block the beauty and hide it away are fear, hurt, and shame. Now when I talk about fear, I mean perhaps the fear that we have to really speak our mind. Or the fear that we have that we might be rejected by a guy or by our friends. I've experienced a lot of things in my life that have caused me to have fear. About 2 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And when I found that out, I was filled with fear. Fear that I would lose my mom. Fear of what she would have to go through along the way. Fear of chemotherapy. Fear of her hair falling out, which it did. Even though I prayed and asked that God would somehow have an exception and let her keep her hair. Fear that she wouldn't make it through her surgeries. Fear, fear, fear. And I think that fear really paralyzed me. And it really stopped that light that was inside me from shining. The question is, what is the next step? So if we've recognized that there are these things that hold us back, what can we do about it? And I think the answer is found in God's Word. In Galatians 5, verse 1, it says, "It is for freedom," say freedom. "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free." And I love this verse so much because the writer, he kind of knows that we're not going to get it. Because he repeats himself. He says, "It is for freedom that Christ set us free." And that seems obvious, right? Well, obviously it was for freedom. Why else would you set someone free? But I think that's just the point, is that the writer knew we wouldn't get it. He knew that we wouldn't understand that the reason that Jesus died on the cross for us, the reason he set us free, was so that we could actually live in that freedom. And yet, how many times, day after day, do we stay trapped by hurt or fear or shame? It happens all the time. And yet it was for freedom that Christ set us free.